Now we'll be talking about why IVF fails. I talk so far. Why does IVF fails? Last video was about telling you the sperm factor, the egg factor. Now the third part is the most important of them all. Is the reason why science is still ongoing as to what we can do better to improve the success of IVF, and that is what we call it endometrium. In literary term is uterine lining. The baby is supposed to implant inside the womb where we have the endometrium. The endometrium is found within the womb, and that's where it implants. So what could be wrong when the baby is healthy but yet it can't implant? That's a womb issue. Causes of a womb factor could be a woman who has undergone D&C, frequent D&C, that's abortions, and it has damaged the womb. So it will be difficult for the baby to find a good place to implant. Or someone who has gone for surgery. That's why I would advise anyone who wants to go for fibroid surgery. Not that I'm advising against, but the doctor needs to know that you are going for this surgery to improve your fertility. So they should be careful, because sometimes there could be some complications from surgery that can affect fertility. So the doctor has to be aware of that. So surgeries, D&C, tuberculosis of the womb, or anything that causes trauma to the womb would lead to what they call adhesions. That is, there are scars formed inside the womb. And when there are scars in the womb, it will be difficult for the baby to implant. Other reasons that are linked to the womb factor could be a woman who has abnormal levels of antibodies, so much antibodies in the system. Antibodies are what fight against and protects our body. They fight against foreign bodies. So sometimes a woman who has high level of antibodies could start attacking itself, and by that process it damages the womb and the fetus, and there's no pregnancy. We call it implantation failure. Sometimes the blood could be abnormal in terms of clotting. If the clotting factor is abnormal, it could be a cause. A woman who has abnormal thyroid function, that is, today she's hyper, tomorrow she's hypothyroid, they all affect implantation. A woman who has uncontrolled sugar level, a woman who has hypertension, all these things have a way of affecting implantation. So what can we do to improve our chance of getting pregnant if I have such problems? The first thing is to watch your diet, make sure you eat healthy, reduce sugar intake, reduce cholesterol intake, go for exercises, and also this manner of treatment is multidisciplinary, whereby not just a fertility doctor is needed. You need a dietitian, you need an endocrinologist, and you need, sometimes you could add a professional internal medical doctor in this field, whereby they control your sugar level if you have a sugar problem, they control your blood pressure if you have that, they control your thyroid before going for IVF. And for those who have blood issues, they could find a way to control their blood clotting factors. And also for those who have antibodies that will be high, there have been proven researches on some drips they can take to suppress the level of these cells that attack the body. So it's important you know about all this, because it's when you know all these things that you know what to do. I advise couples who want to go for IVF to always think you have to have an open mind. That's the truth. You have to have an open mind. IVF is not 1 + 1 = 2. Because my neighbor did it once may not mean I will do it once. Because my neighbor did it 3 times doesn't mean you will do it 3 times. You might do it just once. So it depends on not just you. It's just the way it is. So if you are going for IVF, if you're about to go for IVF, always think of a bigger picture. You want to go for it, have it in the back of your mind that you might do it second or 3 times. That's why some centers can offer you, why not pay for 3 cycles, So it's not as if you are trying to be thinking negative, but it's just the fact. You have to face the truth. IVF has a low chance on your first try. Those who get pregnant are lucky. You could be one, fine. But at the same time, I have a broad spectrum to this. I tell my clients that if you want to do IVF, just do as if you are paying for 3 cycles. Just have savings, seriously, because for you to go for IVF, you must be ready financially, you must be ready psychologically. I think that should be the first readiness. You have to be psychologically ready for this, because it's a long journey. One of my videos, I'll talk about what IVF all entails, as in the cycle, what is involved in some of my videos. But you have to first of all be ready psychologically, mentally stable, and spiritually too. You also need to be ready financially. That's the truth. And if you are aiming for 3 cycles, aim for 3 cycles and say, okay, after 3 cycles, I am going to do this. Have a plan. Draw up a plan ahead. Once you have a plan ahead, you won't be disappointed or you won't break down after a failed IVF. That's the truth. It's the truth. There are algorithms to getting pregnant with IVF. If it works the first time, fine. If it doesn't work, try again. If it works the second time, fine. If it fails, do the third time. If it fails, then move on. There are other options. We have the use of donor egg, the use of donor sperm, we have the use of surrogacy. I'll talk about surrogacy later, or other means, but there's an algorithm. One of my lectures, I'll talk about the algorithm to getting pregnant when IVF fails. So never give up. That is the most important closing note I'll give. Never ever give up. Keep moving. You could either get pregnant naturally or through IVF or through surrogacy. It doesn't make you less of a man or less of a woman. I hope you've learned 1 or 2 things, and I believe that God will grant you your baby bump. Thanks.